Week 2 of fun employment, and I've run out of booze, so what's a sober monkey to do except hijack the local movie theater? Alright, animation fanatics, grab your tickets and a hot snack, because it's time for Monkey at the Movies. Today's episode was requested by, and we'll be taking a look at, Socky Chooks. What kind of name is that? Chop Socky sounds like chop suey or something like that, but Chooks, what could Chooks be? Is that a slang term or something? Of course it's the Aussies. Chop Socky Chooks, a crazy cartoon comedy about some kick-ass chooks using their insert martial art here. Skills to beat up bad guys in a city-sized mall in order to do something of importance, I guess. I don't know. There's not much plot to this, okay? You got the main bad guy, Dr. Wasabi, a mutated shark who's doing bad things because, he's bad. Then you got a whole crop of lower-tier evildoers with a similar lack of conviction. But none of that matters because their personalities are weak sauce. And our three chooks are gonna take them out one way or another. These characters are Chucky Chan, an Asian stereotype who doesn't play by the rules. K.O. Joe, who's a throwback to funkadelic blaxploitation. And Chickpea, who reminds me of...
Come on, Toshi!
Ew.
Come on!
I use the word characters here very loosely because there's nothing special about these semi-racist caricatures. Chucky occasionally gives words of wisdom, Chickpea tends to lead the group, and K.O. Joe dishes out some extra comic relief.
Chickpea, wait.
I know, guys. You don't have to say it. I'll be careful.
I was gonna ask her to untie us. Get it, Cracker! Somebody give it a dang cracker!
Aside from all that, their personalities tend to boil down to nothing but half smiles and wisecracks. The plot goes wherever it wants, and every episode they start out doing a thing, that thing leads to another thing, and then they gotta fight some stuff. Occasionally you got an episode where villains and heroes trade places though, and these are when it's most interesting, since it forces personality conflicts into the story. Unfortunately, compelling dialogue is ditched in favor of a whole lot of, The action may be the focus of the show, but it's also one of its weakest aspects, since the motion can be too fast or slow at times. You'll frequently find yourself just waiting a second too long for a joke to land or a punch to connect. But I've gotta say, when the dialogue is there, I do enjoy it. The way these characters speak gives you the sense that they're just some laid-back co-workers who've been in this business for a long time. No matter how bad the situation is, they try to make light of it with some good old-fashioned water cooler banter. If you've ever worked a lame retail job with some cool dudes who bonded with you over just how lame that job was, then you might get that same vibe from this. On the subject of co-workers and professions, turns out this weird show has an even weirder collaboration behind the scenes. Chop Socky Chooks was created by Aardman. You know, the golden boys behind a ton of feature films, such as their latest theatrical release, Early Man.
Come on, early man.
Cartoon Network and Teletoon were involved, and then there's Decode, which is the production company known for...
My name is Angela, hey, hello!
Shit. Alright, who directed this? Sergio Delfino? Never heard of him, but apparently he worked on the Lego Movie and a bunch of those films that end up in pharmacy clearance racks. Okay, with this bizarre of a mashup, I'm not surprised that this show turned out weird. Hell, I'd be more shocked if anything cohesive came out of a production this diverse and widespread. However, I think there's something to be said for this show's art style. Follow me on this one, because I'm gonna try to explain some convoluted stuff here. When Chop Socky Chooks was airing, I recall Cartoon Network was going through its nudes era at the time, which are these blank models that had character textures mapped onto them, and somehow, in some way, I feel that this show specifically kind of fit that style. Curvy, soft shapes and slow, smooth movements defined what Little House style CN may have had at the time. Which is saying a lot since this aired between 2008 and 2010, when Cartoon Network, the channel for cartoons, was migrating towards a live-action target audience.
Real kids doing real stuff in real situations. Wednesday nights on CN Real.
Yeah, that happened. And given the choice between that and the nudes, give me nudes or give me death. When I really think about this, I feel like this minimalistic 3D style might have actually had an undercurrent in animation at the time. Since these CN Nudes, Chop Socky Chooks, Little Big Planet, Mod Nation Racers, Mirror's Edge, and similar properties all debuted around these years, each one seemed to share this strange, laid-back urban feel. Or at least, I thought so.
But how am I gonna get to sleep in the middle of the...
What's this?
Dave!
I think I hit the snooze button.
I am the new, for reasons I can never explain. I speak the truth. I put an end to all your pain.
All in all, you're not gonna find much of a gem here. The Chooks have some neat concepts, but they all feel underdeveloped and superficial. Eastern martial arts are at the show's core, but there's very little appreciation for the philosophy and soul that should come with that concept. This was better illustrated at the time by a film that, oddly enough, came out the exact same year as this. Could this show have been an attempt at riding some Kung Fu Panda coattails? I don't know. It ain't all that bad. I mean, if you've got some time to kill and can go for a show that hits you with a few zingers here and there, Chop Socky Chooks may have just enough redeeming qualities to suit you. So maybe use it as a chaser for your next shot of scotch and green tea. This has been a Monkey at the Movies, and I'll catch you at the next film.